Hey y'all, welcome back to Krista's Kitchen. We have a special guest, Thatcher, and just wanted to bring y'all along. We're going to try a new recipe today using our Ninja Foodie and the pressure cooker function. So I have some cabbage left over that I wanted to use up, and I found this recipe online for beefy bean cabbage stew. So never tried this before, but it's supposed to be ready in under 30 minutes. Pressure cooker and everything. So I'm going to move y'all closer. I figured this was the best thing to do with a toddler not feeling good anyway, and we get to use up some of the extra cabbage. So I'm going to move y'all a little bit closer and we'll see how this all turns out together. Alright y'all, so in the bottom of our pan, I just have it on the sear or saute function, and I have a pound of ground meat that I put down in it. Now I should have waited just a minute for the pan to heat up, but had some complaints about the sound whenever I put my meat down into a hot pan. So trying to make it a little bit more quiet for you. But all we're going to do is brown up this ground meat, and then we're going to drain off any of the fat that comes off of it. It's going to take just a few minutes and get it done. Now, if your pressure cooker doesn't have the sear and saute function, because I don't know what every pressure cooker has, you can do this on the stovetop, and then after it's browned, move everything to the pressure cooker and do it from there. Now, if you don't have a pressure cooker and you want to make this in a crock pot, same thing applies. Just brown your meat, and then from that point on, after we get our meat browned, everything will be the same for a crock pot. The only difference is with your crock pot or slow cooker, obviously you're going to have to cook it a lot longer. It's going to take about, I think probably about 6 hours for this on low for your crock pot. We're just going to get our meat all browned, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright y'all, so our meat is just about done. So I saw someone do a trick the other day that I'm going to try out to get this grease out of the bottom of our pan. Instead of having to take the pan out, what she did is she put down a paper towel in the bottom of it and stirred it around to collect some of this extra grease. Now make sure your paper towels aren't sitting anywhere dusty, otherwise that's going to make your food gross. But this was pretty ingenious, I thought, to collect all this extra grease that's in it. And we're going to do it again with a second paper towel. Now if we had a ton of grease to pour off, then it might be easier to pour it instead of using like 57 paper towels. But there wasn't too much in this, and it might even collect a little bit more than if we poured it off. So I'm going to pull this one out. Alright. And now, the fun part, we just start dumping in ingredients and get this going. So our meat's all done, we're going to add in our spices. So about a half of a teaspoon of pepper. We're going to do about 1 teaspoon of cumin. Going to do about 3 cloves of minced garlic. So about 3 teaspoons. Because 1 teaspoon is supposed to be a clove. That one was kind of a big clove. I'm going to mix this all around. You get me a banana, buddy? An orange. Alright. Hold on just a minute and I'll peel it for you. Next up, we're going to put in 1 medium bell pepper. The recipe, the original recipe calls for a green bell pepper. I don't have it, so I use the yellow. And 1 small yellow onion. Both chopped up. Pour that in. Next, we're pouring in a can of kidney beans that we've drained and rinsed. And this is bulking up quickly. We're going to toss in an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. We're going to add in a can of diced tomatoes. You don't drain these. A lot of tomato flavors going on in this. And then we're going to add in about a cup of salsa, or I think it called for 3/4 of a cup. So I'm just going to kind of measure it out and see. So not quite a cup. And you can use whichever kind of salsa you like. If you like pecani sauce or something like that, you can use that too. It should give you about the same results. And then last is our cabbage. So it calls for about 3 cups of shredded cabbage. You can even use the bags of coleslaw too if you want to save yourself some trouble. I had an extra head of cabbage to use up from New Year's, so I just shredded that in a little food processor. So we have 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to just mix this all around. We're going to take it off the sear and saute function, and I'm going to turn it to the pressure cooker function. So let me just move this stuff out of the way. I'm going to mix it up. Now this cabbage is really going to bulk this into a stew. Ooh, I have some bigger pieces. I'm not worried about it. My food processor didn't cut it all about the same size. But with this going on pressure function, I'm really not worried about it. But look how hearty this is. I'm excited. Alright, yeah. So, we're going to add the lid. I'm going to move y'all back so y'all can see the front of the pressure cooker. Okay, so all we're going to do is show you how to get this going. Now, if you wanted to do this on a slow cooker function in your Ninja Foodi, you just turn it on. You'll hit slow cooker and turn it to low, and then it'll automatically set your time, and you would hit start. We're going to do it in the pressure cooker today though, so we have it on. We're going to select pressure at high, and we're going to turn it down to 3 minutes and hit start. Now we've got it set to sealing, and it's going to take just a minute to come up to pressure. It'll get going. Once it turns itself off, we'll do a quick release and we'll reveal. So we'll see y'all back in about 10 minutes. Bye. Alright y'all, so our pressure cooker is all done. It took a little less than 10 minutes for it to come up to pressure, cook, and do the quick release. So not bad at all. I'm going to open it up and see what we've got. Alright, so let's see. Very tomatoey. And that cabbage really broke down in it. It smells good. But we'll mix it all around. Serve some up. Now, one of the serving recommendations was to add some cheese or some jalapeno peppers to the top. So we're going to taste it first and then see. It does look a little onion heavy to me, but We will see. Alright. So we're going to try it first without the cheese and see how it is. You can't even really tell there's cabbage in it. It's really just probably used as a bulking agent. It's more of a bean and beef stew. Tomato-based bean and beef stew. Not bad. I think we need to add something to it though. And so, definitely need some more salt. Let's try with that first. I'm going to grab some more salt and pour this back in. So we're going to taste it straight out of the pot. You need some more flavor to it. So, give it a second. Now, and this may be because I use low sodium. I use a low sodium bean and a low sodium tomato, diced tomatoes. So maybe that's where the difference of missing some of the salt is. But this, make sure we get it all mixed together. Give this another little taste. I'll still use a little more salt, but not bad. And this is all you have to do when you're trying new recipes. Taste test along the way, and just because it's a little bland at first doesn't mean that it's a total flop. Sometimes you just have to bring out those flavors a little bit better. Alright, let's see. Much better. Now, for me personally, I do think that some jalapeno peppers would be good on top of this. But I'm going to try it with a little bit of cheese and see if that does anything for it. I'm not a sour cream person, but if you're a sour cream person, that might be good on this also. That tomato with a little bit of cream to it. Now, remember, this is a lighter, healthier dish. About 200 calories per cup. So by adding the cheese and the sour cream and things on it, that's going to increase your calories and your fat. But as long as you're light on it, it's not going to completely break the bank. Yeah. So definitely add the cheese to it. Makes it so much better. If I make this again, I'll probably, instead of shredding the cabbage, leave in these bigger pieces. Because aesthetically, I think that just looks better, in my opinion, for those big chunks of cabbage. More salt, and then some extra kind of spice. Since this is going more of the Mexican, Spanish kind of flavors, I'd probably stick to that flavor profile. But definitely top it with some cheese, top it with some sour cream or some sliced jalapenos, and this is not bad at all for a very healthy or low-calorie dish. So I think I'll definitely play with it and make it again, but you gotta spice it up a little bit more. Let me know what y'all think. What would you add to this to kind of give it a little bit more flavor profile? But we're going to get it served up, season it up a little bit more, and we'll let y'all know how it goes. But I think it's going to be pretty good. It's just, we got to amp it up just a little bit to make it stellar. Thank y'all for trying this out with us, and like I said, leave me some comments. Let me know how you would change this up and still try to keep it pretty health conscious. Thank y'all for joining us, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.